Hey everybody, this is Victor. I am here with Joe. We're going to be talking about his real estate flipping journey. We're going to be talking about how Joe went from wholesaling full time to his first 29,000 net profit flip. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Victor, doing good, man. Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, I'm glad we could connect. I'm glad we could do this. I think a lot of people can resonate with your story and have a lot to learn from your experience with wholesaling and flipping. So I'd love to jump right into it. So
Sure.
let's start with this. What's your background and how did you get into real estate?
Yeah, so my background has always been sales. I've had a variety of different commission structure jobs where you get out of it what you put into it. And I started noticing that real estate was an outlet for that type of job to where you can really be successful. And so I started to look into it, YouTube and just reading books and stuff like that, and decided to officially leave my corporate job and go to real estate full time. So took that dive just about 2 years ago, and I originally thought I was going to be an agent, but I went to a handful of networking events here in Jacksonville, and there was a speaker who was a young kid. He was 21 or 22 years old, and he was doing like over 100 deals, like 150 deals a year.
Wow.
And a good buddy of mine, Gonzalo, and so he worked something out with him. I was like, man, I'd really love to learn from you. What can we do? And so he brought me on as an acquisition manager, which basically I spoke to sellers. They provided leads for me, and I would call the sellers and negotiate the price and get it under a wholesale contract. And then I did that for about 8 months, and I really liked it. It was fun. It was awesome. I got just about 100 properties under contract in that time.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. They provided me, man, with the scripts and the tools and the education, and I kind of had a niche for it. So both of those things combined, I got better and better, and then we probably closed on about like 85 of those. Through all things happen and deals, not every one of them closes, but so that was my experience there. And then I started thinking, hey, I still want to be my own boss. I really want my time to be my own, and I feel like I can, possibly do this on my own. So, with their blessing, I went on and started Green Tree Real Estate Investments, and that was about just about a year ago. And then so about the last 11 months, we have done about 55 deals. And
Nice.
Thank you. And mainly I've been focusing on land. I sell a lot of vacant lots and raw land to like developers and builders and stuff. But I do come across the houses. And a lot of times when I do come across the houses, I run the numbers basically on it as in general, basically, to see like what type of property is this? Where does this fit in for my company to be able to make a profit with this property? Like, how can I help this seller? What's their problem and what's the solution to it, right? So I'll be evaluating these deals, and I'll be like, okay, I can wholesale this deal. And I'll probably make, sometimes it's only like $3 to $5 grand, sometimes less. Hey, you always want there to be meat on the bone on these properties, but not always does it really fit the wholesale number or the wholesale structure, especially when you're dealing with someone who's put money into their house or they're an investor themselves, and there's exact comps around. And so what I'm getting at is I noticed that the flippers are really the ones who are able to buy it at these prices a lot of times, and they're able to make quite a bit of profit in the end of it all too. And so I was probably either passing up on these properties, right? Or making a small wholesale fee on them. And so it really got me interested in looking into flipping and to learning about it, started reading some more books about it. And I started meeting people like you who have hands-on experience, who are actually out in the field doing flips. And like, those are the type of people that I want to learn from. And that gave me confidence to start doing this one, and you're helping me with this one. But yeah, that's kind of my journey from when I started in real estate to where I'm at now. And now I actually have my real estate license. So I am an agent here in Jacksonville for Momentum. And that gives me a whole nother tool, a whole nother resource to be able to list properties for people, to help people find homes. Just with, like I said, extra resources to be able to do so. And I think my company will be able to make more profit, and I'll be able to help more people. And then flipping is fun too. I mean, that's like all the stuff you see on TV, right? You don't see any shows about wholesalers, right? That's not glorious.
Now that you mention it, I guess not, yeah.
And it's kind of like a gateway into real estate, if you will, like, or for me it was, at least, right? Like, I don't want to be wholesaling forever, but I think the idea is that if I'm out looking for flips and know that world a little bit better, I'll come across a property that's worth wholesaling, and it might not be worth mine or my contractor's time, and I know somebody else who would be better with this property, and I could wholesale it to them, you know. So I'm kind of looking to shift my business, just to kind of be like all-in-one general real estate, you know, rather than just a wholesaler. So that's where I'm at now from where I started.
Yeah, well, I like that you're opening up options for yourself, where it's not just, okay, I need a wholesale, I need to wholesale it. It's like, okay, I can wholesale it. You said you already have your license, so you can list it for them, or you can take it down yourself. And we're working on a deal. You know, we're working on your first deal here, so you can take it down and flip it yourself. And just to tie it back to what you're saying earlier, like, you're opening up options for yourself, so you're going to improve your financial well-being because of that. But at the same time, you're able to help people more, because of that. Like, sometimes a deal might be tight, but if you take it down and flip it yourself, it can still work. We can still help that person out. But I really like that angle. Like, how do I help people the most? And in turn, when you do that, you're just going to get rewarded the most.
Totally. Absolutely.
Well, cool. Very cool. So that's fantastic. So you're really opening it up. So we got your first flip here. Would love to hear more about this deal. Whatever you're comfortable sharing. Happy to talk about it. Tell me about this deal you got.
Yeah. So the deals that I've had, I mainly market for deals in Jacksonville and the greater Jacksonville area, but I'm from Gainesville, Florida. So that's where I have a lot of family, a lot of friends and family roots there. And so all the deals that I get from there pretty much are like organic, right, from family and friends. And so this deal actually came about because of a friend of mine, who his mom, I knew that she owned a property, and I was wondering what was up with it, because I remembered it was kind of sitting there. It was over, if you're familiar, it's on the east side of town, and it's kind of an area where they are redeveloping some, and there's definitely some houses that need to be remodeled, but it's kind of like, I wouldn't call it like up and coming area, but you know what I'm getting at. Mm-hmm. It's a area for flipping. And so I wanted to ask her what was going on with it. Her answer threw me off. She said that she's had a renter in there for several years, and it's a poor woman who has children and nowhere else to go, basically. And so it started out her paying her a couple $100s a month, to maybe $100 a month, whatever she could afford, to basically she's living there for free. Mm-hmm. And the whole kit and caboodle of that is that the mortgage is $450 a month.
So she's losing every month, right?
Absolutely. So she, out of the kindness of her heart, is allowing this single mother her to live at this house because she knows that if she evicts her, she will have nowhere better to go, and she doesn't want to make her homeless. Which, you know, I'm a Christian man. I'm a moral person in general. Even just a regular person can be able to see where she's coming from, you know. But at the same time, I didn't want that to happen to my friend's mom, and so I basically said, listen, let's start mentioning to her that you're looking at selling the house, and she will, you know, have to be moved out soon. And I think that that's fair for everybody. You know, she'll have to understand, and I want you to let her know that. And so this actually started back in December, man, of 2019. I don't know if you remember, because I
remember.
I sent it to you right away, yeah. So that was back at the end of last year, and then she was saying, you know, let's look at it at the beginning of the year. I think you're right. Let's do this. So at the beginning of the year, we even back at the end of the year, ran the numbers, and the numbers were what they were. We thought that the ARV was about $130,000, and that we knew it was going to need a full remodel, so probably about $25,000 to $30,000. And then we found out that her mortgage was $55,000, and then so basically, originally she told me, hey, I just want you to take over the property. I just want you to take over or buy the property so that I can get out of it even.
Gotcha.
Yeah. She wasn't looking to make any money. And because she knew that the house needed so much work, and she was underwater. So like you said, time possibly can kill all deals. So as time goes on, because the lady wasn't moving out of the house, you know, she started talking to maybe a real estate friend, I think that she said, who said, hey, like, there's some properties in the neighborhood selling in the 80s, you know, I don't want you to cut yourself short, you know, selling to your son's friend, and you know, whatever that person had thought. And she told me that because, like I said, we were very, very close. She was like, hey, Joe, like, you know, I'm thinking I could get some money out of this. You know, I'm just giving you the property for free. Like, what's going on here? So when I run the numbers again, I think I'm very confident. We know now that the as-is price, as-is value of her house is about $60,000. It's pretty clear-cut comps. I mean, like, almost identical comps. And so I think where she was getting that was from Zillow, and her realtor friend might have been seeing these properties that didn't need a roof and didn't need flooring, paint, you know, they only needed a few updates, maybe a kitchen or a bathroom or something. And so they were going on the market for like 80. And so once I explained that to her, you know, I sat down, I brought my laptop over, and I showed her the comps. I pulled up the MLS, I pulled up Zillow, and I showed her the comparison. I was like, this is what yours needs. You know, this is where this one's at. This is where, and she appreciated that because I don't think her other friend did that for her, or, you know, anyone, you know, really did that for her. So we actually found out later on that her property was worth, or her mortgage was worth $45,000. Funny enough. And so, long story short, I originally reached out to you, asking, you know, where can we be on this as a wholesale deal to you, and I think you were probably right around that $60,000, and that leaves me making $5,000 and her walking away with nothing, or me giving her the $5,000 and just doing the deal between you guys, whatever. And meanwhile, the lady is still needing to move out. And so we're waiting on this, and time is going by. And as time is going by, we're fortunate enough that the numbers actually didn't change too much, and they stayed the same. Very fortunate that happened, and it doesn't usually happen. But so I told her, I said, hey, can you let the tenant know that I'm going to be purchasing the property on August 1st, and she has to be out by then. And, you know, let her know that it'll be out of your hands, and I will be evicting her. Because when it does come down to it, from the mentors I've talked to, because I did struggle with this, and you know, even with talking with you, I don't know that lady, you know, and this lady is like my family, and I have to have her best interest, you know, at heart, and so we have to get that lady out of the house. And so I told her to tell her to get out by August 1st, and so August 1st rolls around, and she actually had some complications with like her C-section pregnancy and stuff, and so she was in the hospital for like 3 more weeks. So we actually didn't get this property till like the 3rd or 4th week of August. But during all this time, I had a chance to look at the numbers, and I had a chance to talk with you, Victor, and we really looked at it, and we started thinking, well, listen, the monthly payment is about $450 per month, which is low. And like I was saying, when she was speaking to her realtor friend, she started thinking, maybe I want to get some money out of this, right? And so we were going to be giving her, I think, was it $5,000 at first?
I think she was going to walk away with 5 at the beginning. Yeah.
Walk away with 5, and then, like I said earlier, she was mixing up her mortgages because she owns 2 properties, and it was actually $45,000, not $55,000. And so when we reevaluated everything, you know, she was saying, hey, look, I saved you guys $10,000. I would like to see that in return, you know, and as much as it sucks to have that come out of your potential profit on a flip, you know, we looked at the numbers, and like we said, the as-is price was 60, and, you know, she's doing us a justice by letting us buy it subject to, and so, you know, we worked it out to where she's getting $15,000 at the first subject to closing. And I'm really happy that it worked out that way. And, you know, we will revisit that statement at the end when it's all said and done.
When it's all said and done,
right?
yeah.
Right. But you know, I'm glad that it worked out that way, and I hope you guys can see, because I know this has been long-winded, but like, it started out with maybe a 5K wholesale.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And now we're looking at it to where my friend's mom, who is near and dear to me, is going to walk away with a decent amount of money in her pocket, and to where I have the potential to not only get the experience for my first flip with a partner who is doing flips. Like, it's one thing to have like a mentor or like somebody that you follow who, you know, you buy their program or something, which those are beneficial too. But to be able to work with someone who's doing flips right now, and I mean, that's like, you know, like you can't really get that anywhere else, like I said, online or anything. So I'm getting to learn from you and learn how flips are done, and then we have the potential to make, you know, anywhere between, you know, $15,000 to hopefully maybe $20,000 each at the end of this, and you know, like you said, probably be right around that 30 grand net just after this is said and done.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about, you know, earlier, it's a win-win-win for everybody, and that's why I do real estate, is to try to make it a win for everybody. That's how you get referral business. That's how you get repeat business. That's how you keep a strong reputation, is to just do right by people. And you know, we get to be in the green at the end of it. I don't think anyone, you know, is mad about that. But it was a win all the way around. So.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there, because initially you're just going to wholesale it, and like, I mean, that's great because you're in and out, quick velocity, $5,000 check, whatever. But this way, like, you're going to learn something. You have a real shot and potential with the numbers where they're at. I mean, you're going to make more, and then you're going to learn from it as well, and then you'll go through the experience, and like, just like you're saying, it's a win-win-win. So everyone is coming out better. So that's a really good way to look at it. Very cool. Well, any other thoughts in relation to this deal? Like well, let me ask you that. Like, how do you feel about this deal moving forward? Like renovations, flipping it. Are you like confident? Or are you like hesitant, have some last minute doubts? Or like, what's going through your head as you're working through this first flip here?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be honest with you. So I took your program for your first flip in, I think it's 30 days. And I learned a lot about the repair costs, and you know, you even gave out your like the list of renovation
Estimate
costs.
guide. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and so I printed that out. It's like posted on my office, right
Oh,
in front of my.
nice.
Yeah, because when I'm talking to people, I feel more educated knowing like how much the siding is going to cost on X amount of square feet of their house, you know, because I can guesstimate all day, but it's like you're just wasting people's time, you know. And so I learned a lot from looking at what stuff costs, and then we got a chance to walk the property together, and you were like so confident about it. You're like, yep. You're like, yep. You know, like I was just like, wait, don't you want to like walk it again or something? You know. But I know that was really cool to I have a lot more confidence even after we've done just one time to be able to walk into a house and know that and be confident that I'm within my range of what the rehab cost will be. So that's definitely one thing that is cool. I feel better about now. And then the other thing is that you when you started doing flips, Victor, you were doing work yourself. Like I seen you and your mom
That's right.
put up a fence, rip out a kitchen, and you know the whole nine. So like you were doing your own, and now we use contractor. Right?
Yeah, no, started like we did as much as we could ourselves, like paint, floor, like the stuff you could, and then we'd hire out the rest. And luckily, you don't have to go through that progression, like you personally.
I was just
Like
about to say that was your journey.
we're just gonna hire it out, so save you that headache for sure.
Yeah, very cool. And I'm not a good handyman either, so I already know like that would just be asking for it. But where was I at? Sorry, I lost.
Oh no, you're just saying like you're more confident. I remember like the first time I would estimate a house, like the first time, this was years ago, it took me, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I looked at every detail, and now like 90 seconds, because you just do it over and over again, and you like walk through, like you look at the main stuff, you know what to look for, and then you just know. And like the number you come up with is just like a good ballpark figure. It might be plus or minus 1,000 or whatever. So for this one, our repair estimate's like 30 grand. So if it's like 31 grand or 29 grand, whatever, it doesn't kill the deal. It'll affect our profitability a little bit, but it still makes sense to move forward on the deal after seeing the property and kind of walking it that way. So because I know you do the wholesaling, but I know you'll start to build that muscle as well. Just, walk in there, 90 seconds. Okay, cool. You got a number. This is what I can pay.
Yeah. That's definitely something I'm trying to get to. And also, so the other thing that is really intriguing to me is, like I said, the contractor aspect to it, right? Because you have a contractor that you, I guess, know, trust, and trust their opinion on like, what to put in and everything, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they're readily available. Like I guess they were hungry for work. Like you can put them on this job like right now, and that's cool because I do talk to a lot of flippers and know a lot of flippers, from my wholesale business, and they'll tell me like stuff's backed up. My guys are backed up. My contractor is backed up on this job or in this job, or if they have a hard time finding a solid, reliable contractor, or whatever the case may be. So that's something super cool. Like you have that in your bag. I feel like that's one of those things, like a hidden gem that even when people have the entire flip process down, it really comes down to that. If you're subbing out the work, it really comes out to who's doing the work at what prices and are they doing it good and doing it fast. So that's one thing I'm looking forward to learning during this experience, and to check them out. Like I want to, like you said, I can stop by the site anytime and, see where we're at and what's going on and all that cool stuff. So I wouldn't say I don't want to downplay it and say it's easier than I thought, but you just sounded super confident. You were like, yeah, I'm going to get my contractor on it. We're going to get started soon. Like next time you come back, it's going to look a little already started. I'm just like, wow. So I think that's like definitely a huge key is the contractor, so I want to learn, to do the best business I can, have a relationship with one and build one with yours. And
Yeah, we'll have to, as we progress into, we'll have to talk about that in more detail because there's a lot to it in terms of the contractors. And there's, like you're saying, like there's one thing to have theoretical, contractors, and there's another thing to actually have them execute on time and within the budget, all that stuff. So we'll definitely talk about that. It's going to be a good learning experience too as you go through this, for sure. Okay, well, good. That's a great flip, a good deal. Great work on that. So congratulations on that. With that in mind, would you recommend others work with me as well?
Definitely. Yeah, man. You're humble and you do it from the kindness of your heart. I could tell because you also have helped me with a bunch of deals, or you'll do numbers for deals and send them to me and expect nothing in return. And I'm not telling everybody to send you a bunch of deals and that you're going to do the numbers for them, but what I mean is just like I'm learning from a good flipper, and I'm also learning from a good guy too. And I just appreciate you and you taking the time to talk to me. I think we've had a few long phone conversations, and I've probably learned something on like every single one of them. And
oh, okay, nice. I didn't know that. Yeah.
And even if it's a tiny little nugget that I can use in my business or know about flipping or whatever it is. And so I think when I first met you, I met you through Brett, and I met Brett through my friend Trey. And I think you've done a deal with Trey before.
Yeah,
and so
I interviewed him too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all like a connected network, so if you decide to do business with Victor, you're adding him, and you're adding, everyone else that he has in his network too. And if you, whether you're just starting out or you have a business, I think that's going to help, you get to the next level regardless of what you're trying to do. So you're a good person to know in the real estate industry, and an overall good guy. And I would totally recommend people get with you to learn flipping, man.
I do appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I remember we met through Trey. I did an interview with him too because he did his first flip as well. So it's crazy how small the world is.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, and then why should someone listening take action now?
There is no time like the present. I don't care how corny that sounds. What will eat at you more is waking up every day still wanting to know about the real estate stuff you wanted to know about. That will eat at you more than the late nights or the extra time that you put in. I know that it's tough. A lot of people have 9-to-5s and they want to get into real estate, and it's risk. They have families, they have bills, and I get that. But whatever you can do, like I said, late nights, weekends, just whatever you can do to put that time and take action now, you're just putting yourself further away from your first flip if you don't, so reach out to people, get some mentors. I used to get really angry when I would ask my friends about flipping or people about flipping online. They would tell me books to read.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be like, dude, like, why can't you just tell me like how to flip a house? You know what I mean? And now where I'm at, like, I get it. There's just a certain mindset that you have to have, before you really jump into it. But I think the first thing is just taking action, and all that stuff will fall into place later. But you got to take action right now for sure.
Well, I think that's very much the case because there's no time like the present, just like you're saying. Well, very cool. Well, I do appreciate you taking the time to do this. I hope everyone who is listening and who is going to listen to this is going to benefit from this and learning about you and your journey. As you wrap up here, any final thoughts?
No, I will do a quick pitch though, because like I said, I just got my real estate license. And so any of my friends and family, I always say, come to me with any questions, real estate related. And then if you would choose to hire me as your realtor, it would be a pleasure, and I will do my absolute very best to get you the best deal no matter what. And I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on, Victor.
Appreciate it, Joe. Thank you so much. See everybody.